Hello and welcome to One North Maine BCA's magazine show where we profile people, places, and events that make this city, our city, great. Coming up on today's episode, we have an action-packed half hour, including a new playground over at the Barrett Russell School. Brewster Ambulance has made a big investment in the city of Brockton. The Red Apple Awards were given out to teachers going above and beyond the call of duty. The district court is located in downtown Brockton. Recently, they had an open house. And we're also going to show you some behind-the-scenes, cutting room floor footage of some One North Maine episodes and segments that didn't quite make it and were cut at the cutting room floor. So sit back, relax, and see what your community, the City of Champions, has to offer. One of our most valuable resources in our fair city are our teachers. Brockton Public Schools teachers are second to none. And there were several that were recently recognized with a Red Apple Award here behind me in the little theater. Let's check it out.
I'm Kathy Smith. I'm the proud superintendent of the Brockton Public Schools. More proud to have been a teacher in Brockton for over 41 years, and really proud that we can have this event today. So with all of the struggles and all of the advocacy and all of the things that we are all dealing with day in and day out, the thing that's most important, and you really stand for so many of your colleagues out there, those people that go above and beyond, that care about our kids in more ways than just being a 9-to-5 job, that make sure that they provide our students with every bit of support. They're true members, and when I look out at the principals, you know that these are your go-to people. I know they are. And interesting enough, as superintendent, I know each and every one of you. Some of you I've just met recently, but I know of you, and when I looked at the names and the nominations, I was not one bit surprised that you were chosen as our first Red Apple Award winners. First, I'd like to ask Matt Bernstein to come up here and join me. Matt works at the Barrett Russell Early Childhood Center. He is an adaptive phys ed teacher, and after the move from the Gilmore, and those of you know about our move this year, Matt unpacked all his materials and then organized the cafeteria and storage closet. And you can't imagine what it's like when you move a school into a smaller school and a smaller space. He helped other teachers unpack and get organized. He put together picnic tables for the back playground. He unpacked books for the library. He was instrumental in getting the building ready to show for the open house. Kathy Gormley from the Angelo School. Kathy is a speech and language specialist, and she is a talented speech pathologist. She is among the first to offer a helping hand with our most challenged students, whether it is escorting them to class or jumping on the van to help a child get settled. She is there. She supports our students and teachers in many ways. Judy Mezuera from the Arnone School. Judy, please join me. Judy is a teacher with nearly 30 years teaching grade 3. She volunteered to transfer to grade 2 so a newer teacher who was being blue-slipped could remain in grade 3. That's teamwork and being selfless and putting the benefit of others above herself. I'm going to push beyond the podium. Let's get a picture of us. Jane Toland-Werb to come up here. Jane is from the Baker School, and she is a grade 3 teacher. Jane Werb is a dedicated grade 3 teacher at the Baker School. Mrs. Werb comes in early, stays late, and is always willing to help wherever and whenever needed. Mrs. Werb is a leader not only within her grade level, but in the school. She consistently embraces new initiatives and works tirelessly to meet the varied needs of the children in her village. Christy Spillane Scanlon. Christy is a Brookfield teacher, grade 4 math. She is committed to the success of the entire Brookfield school. She never hesitates to take on extra responsibilities. She currently serves as the lead facilitator for the school's professional learning community and is on the Superintendent's Advisory Council.
We'll come back to the Red Apple Awards ceremony in a couple of minutes. This campus, this Brockton High campus, is sprawling. You never know what you'll find. In fact, behind me is a playground. There was a recent playground dedication, Kevin Riley Playground specifically. That was relocated over to the Barrett Russell School. Mr. Riley was a long-standing and excellent employee of Brockton Public Schools. And hopefully, his memory will last a lifetime. I'm sure the kids will enjoy it. Let's check out this dedication ceremony.
Barrett Russell, superstars, superstars, and we are respectful, and we are responsible, safe and kind, safe and kind. Excellent. Give it up for them.
I would like to introduce our superintendent of schools. Her name is Kathleen Smith. So Mrs. Smith is going to come up and she's going to talk a little bit because we're rededicating our playground today. All right, so we would like to invite Kathleen Smith. Can you give her a hand? Can you clap for her?
Thank you, Principal Camillo. This is a beautiful day to see all of our Barrett Russell students out here today for a very, very special occasion. I want to thank everybody for being here on this wonderful fall day. I want to tell you, first of all, when you look at these grounds, this wonderful playground, and the rededication today of the Kevin Riley Playground Center for our youngest students, I was very fortunate to have worked with Kevin Riley. I worked with him at a number of places, one being the Howard Diagnostic School many years ago, which was our preschool. And the one thing that I will tell you is that he was totally dedicated to every one of our students then, and I know he's watching over each and every one of us right now. And I also just mentioned to his wife and his sister that although this began at the Gilmore Center, Kevin would have followed these children anywhere. So I think that this is important, that when we rededicate this beautiful, beautiful space for all of these young children to come and to enjoy, that this is in the memory of Kevin Riley. I want to thank his wife, Maureen, his sister, Susan. I'm sorry, I know it's another sister, Carol. And we're very, very pleased to have you here today and all of those family members. I also want to thank, and I saw him, Deputy Superintendent Thomas, who, with our facility crew, I saw Ken Thompson, Jamie Domestico, who made sure all summer, and this was a transition,
This was a lot of work for so many of you, and I know how hard you worked to make sure when we opened those doors in September to our youngest children that nobody skipped a beat. This definitely feels like home, and more importantly, you made sure that, again, this beautiful, beautiful playground with our beautiful sway swing was here for these children to enjoy for many years to come. So from the bottom of my heart, again, congratulations. It's just a wonderful tribute and memorial, to Kevin that'll last for many, many years to come in the lives of many young students.
When this school was down at the Gilmore, and they had plans of moving to here, I was dead against it. I thought this school couldn't handle it. We couldn't get this playground put in. There wasn't enough parking. But I have to take my hat off to Mike Thomas and Ken Thompson. They did a fabulous job. Everything looks great up here. It's almost like a brand new school. And I'm proud to be a part of it. And I just wanted to say thank you. And Kevin, Riley family, thank you for coming up here.
I just wanted to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to be here and be a part of this rededication. And I also wanted to thank the faculty, staff, parents, and the students, and especially our facilities department. This was a year with a lot of transition, and I know it's affected everybody. But I think collectively we pulled together as a community to make that happen. And I can't thank our facilities department enough for all they did over the summer to make sure that that everything was situated the way it needed to be.
I would now like to ask Kevin Riley's wife, Maureen, to come up with Principal Joanne Camillo and myself. We're going to open this up for children to play.
Boys and girls, our beautiful playground here is because of her husband. So we're so grateful. Can you give her a clap for that? Thank you so much. Would you like to show her how we use our playground?
All right, we're moving around campus, and I'll tell you, it is a beautiful fall day. Enjoy the weather while it lasts. Let's go back to some more Red Apple Awards ceremony footage as some teachers get recognized for their great work.
Next, we have a team, and I'm so excited to have this. I'm going to ask Jennifer Baker and Steve Alves to come up here and join me. And they are Davis School grade 6 teachers, actually have been a team in a number of ways for a long time. So these two teachers worked with donations and went out and bought fall decorations, flowers, and then came and worked an entire Saturday to fill, plant, move, and decorate all the barrels to beautify the front entrance and both driveways at the Davis School. The staff and parents were most appreciative, and now the teachers plan on having all grade levels adopt a pot. That sounds interesting. Congratulations. Next, I'd like to invite School Adjustment Counselor Deb Scott from the George School. Deb is one of those school employees who goes above and beyond every day, doing whatever it takes to ensure the success of students. She makes phone calls to parents at night and plans home visits on the weekends, of course, when parents are available. The George School is better for her dedication and her commitment to its students. Absolutely. And next, I'd like to invite another school adjustment counselor, Nick Robin, to come up here. So Nick, along with his duties as a Huntington and now a Gilmore school adjustment counselor, Nick has served as the PTO treasurer of the Huntington Gilmore School, and through a range of activities has worked hard to increase the PTO account, which provide funds to benefit the school. And you know what, Nick? The reason why that is so important, when you talk about the Brockton Public Schools, many of the schools are fortunate to have active. Thank you. And now I have Jen Vargas from the Raymond School, a Title I reading teacher. Jen, please join me. The instructional leadership team chose Jen based on her community outreach project to support the Reader's Workshop model in the classrooms. One critical component is that each child needs their own book bag with 3 to 5 books from different genres, but at their individual reading level. With more than 900 students at the Raymond, this was a challenge. On her own, Jen posted a message on her Easton Moms Group Facebook page asking for donations of gently used children's books. Jen and her family spent days upon days in June and all through the summer collecting and sorting and leveling all those donated books. And last but not least, Brockton High School teacher John Fidalgo. So John, in addition to coaching the Brockton High School cross-country team, which we just had a very successful meet 2 weeks ago, John founded, organized, and coaches the Brockton Track Club, where high school students mentor and coach young future track stars. This community effort has matched students ages 5 through 14 with older students while building self-esteem and self-confidence at an affordable price that opens up running and opportunities for all families and all children. And again, thank you so much for joining us. Again, I want to congratulate every one of the winners and tell you, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, for everything that you continue to do for our kids makes a difference for so many.
As we continue to walk around campus, take a look at this massive building, well over 4,000 students. When I think of institutions and buildings in Brockton, you think of Brockton High School, one that people might not necessarily think about, but is open to the public, is the District Courthouse right on Main Street. They recently had an open house, and the day was called "This is Your Court." It was pretty interesting. Let's check it out.
Good morning. I am Angel Kelly Brown, the Regional Administrative Judge of Plymouth County Superior Court. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Brockton Trial Court building. We all welcome you to your court.
Yeah, I know. We were talking today. There's a lot of people that still don't know. Yeah, I'm opening up the door. You're trying to reach the back side. Yeah, so, yeah, we know.
Narcan training, just to kind of give everybody a review of how to administer the Narcan. We have our mannequin, our Sin Man, which is mobile, he's wireless, we can go a bunch of different places. So he's actually breathing and blinking and kind of freaks everybody out a little bit when they first come up and talk to him. But we can adjust his respiratory status. So right now he's breathing in about 4 times a minute. So looking at him being unresponsive, breathing at a rate of about 4 times a minute, and looking at his pupils, and when you look at his pupils, you'll see that on the right side would be a normal pupil, and on the left side is a pinpoint pupil. So ideally, we're looking at the pinpoint pupil. It's kind of evidence that this person is having some type of an opiate overdose. And in that situation, we're going to go ahead and administer our Narcan. So our Narcan comes, there are basically 3 different types of administrations that you're going to see. 2 of them are nasally. Obviously, we're going to do, one's an injection into the leg, and the other one would be an IV that the paramedics do, where we do IV access that way. Nasal atomizer. So there's 4 milligrams in about 1 cc of this fluid, or 0.1 cc of this fluid. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up to one of the nares, and then you're going to go ahead and administer the medication, push it up, and then what you want to do is pinch the nose off so it absorbs. Let it absorb for about 2 to 3 minutes. You're going to watch the victim. Hopefully his respiratory status will start to improve. If not, there's a second dose. We'll go to the other nares, administer the second dose, make sure that 911 has been called, and we're going to watch him again for another 3 to 4 minutes, and hopefully his respiratory status is going to improve.
The Juvenile Court Clinic provides both short-term and long-term evaluations that are ordered by the judge. So I might do an extended evaluation when a probation officer, a family member, a judge, an attorney has concerns about a child's behavior. And I'll meet with the child, parents, collateral contacts, and put together a detailed evaluation with service recommendations as to what I think might best help the child and the family. I'd also do same-day evaluations on an emergency basis. So if a family member or a court personnel has concerns about a child's mental health or substance abuse, we would determine whether or not that child meets a hospital level of care based on reports from the child, from the family members, and then the judge would determine whether or not that child should be hospitalized.
The Massachusetts trial courts are committed to ensuring that there is access to justice for all. Access to justice is not a privilege exclusively for the rich and famous, the well-educated, and the English-speaking. It is an entitlement to justice for everyone, regardless of your background, your race, your religion, your gender, or financial status. Persons represented by lawyers and those who are not are free to bring their claims to court and can expect to be treated with respect and dignity. We succeed as a society when we bring our legal disputes into court and allow the rule of law to resolve those disputes. We are a country of laws, the U.S. Constitution, and trust the judiciary as our third branch of government to give balance and fairness in our governance. Have faith in our justice system to be fair, impartial, and independent of political and personal influences.
The chairman of Brockton School Committee is the mayor, and the mayor was on site at a business. You might be familiar with it, Brewster Ambulance. They opened up shop on the south side of town. It's quite a building.
We're delighted to be here at Brewster Ambulance, which is a former DeSantis property. I honestly believe that the next 2 years are going to be the most exciting 2 years in the history of the city, because the transformation has begun. You just haven't had a chance to see all the fruits of it yet. But all I have to do is think about some of the events that have happened just in the last 2 weeks, just in the past 2 weeks. Within the past 2 weeks, we had the Lieutenant Governor here downtown announcing an over $25 million investment in building a state office building in downtown Brockton. Not only is that in a critical location for the downtown, replacing the long vacant and deteriorating Ganley building, right at the crossroads of Main Street and Belmont Street, a critical location that will positively impact every person coming into the downtown, their perception of downtown when they hit the end of Belmont Street at Main, and instead of looking across the street at a building that's been vacant for nearly 30 years, they see a brand new state-of-the-art sparkling state office building. It's a real important piece of what's going to be happening downtown. But beyond that, I think it also shows a vote of confidence from the state that they believe in what our plan is and what our plans are for the future of the city, that they're willing to come down and invest not just the 25 or 26 million in this project, but another 10 million that they committed to 6 months ago to help us build a new downtown parking garage. So there's substantial public investment. The state has bought into what we're doing, and we're attracting public investment, which then spurs private investment, like we'll talk about here this morning. Just starting with the beginning of my administration, almost 4 years ago, between what's been invested and what's on the drawing board for the next couple of years, just in the downtown represents $97 million of total investment in the downtown. $97 million. Did anyone think 4 years ago we'd be standing here talking about nearly $100 million being invested in downtown Brockton? I didn't. I knew we had a lot of work to do. I made a decision to end a 33-year no-bid contract with our prior ambulance service and award the contract to Brewster. And you may recall, it was a little controversial at the time. I got kicked around a little on that one. But I never flinched because I knew in my heart, I knew what we were doing by making the commitment to Brewster. And I believed them when they looked me in the eye and told me that they would make a commitment to Brockton if I made a commitment to them. And they also had great references, by the way. We didn't just give them the contract. We spent some real due diligence time talking to people that they were already working for. But they've done that, and they've done more for the Brewster family to make the decision that they're going to create their second regional service center here, invest $4 million, and I'll let Mark give you the details, but this is more jobs again, not just the 250 or so jobs they have here now. It's going to bring another 100, 150 additional jobs to the city with the investment that they make here. So I am just tremendously excited, and also very thankful that the Brewster family is making this commitment to the city of Brockton. And I'd like to bring up Mark Brewster to tell you about it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everyone. As the mayor said, it was controversial back a few years when we were coming in. We purchased our first piece of property in Brockton back in 2011. Then once we got the ambulance contract, 2015, this is now our fourth location in the city, and the one we're most excited about. This will be a regional headquarters that is going to serve Brockton all through southeastern Mass, New Bedford, Fall River, Dartmouth. This will be the regional center that supports all the way down the 24 corridor. We're going to have a full human resource department here, so the interviewing, the hiring process will now be out of here instead of our Weymouth location for this sector. We have a full fleet maintenance department out back, including a body shop that's going to be new that we're bringing into the city, as well as our dispatch center here now. We'll have the PSAP capabilities for the 911 systems, as well as, again, dispatching that whole 24 corridor. This side, we're over here, will be a billing department. None of the construction has started, as you can see, that we're coming through. There's some ambulance that are in the garage out back now. We're putting a full training center out back. We're going to run an EMT and paramedic program out of this location, which is going to bring 25 to 30 students to the city Monday through Thursday every night of the week that are going to be stopping, supporting the convenience store, the restaurants, the gas stations. So there's a lot happening at the site that we're really excited about. The city took a chance on us, as the mayor said back a few years back. We couldn't be more thankful for that opportunity. We're glad to be a community partner and not just the ambulance service in the city now. And we look forward to being here for a long time and working with the city.
Well, there you have it, Brockton. Another One North Main in the books. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. We enjoyed covering these fantastic events and meeting some wonderful people. To learn more about Brockton Community Access, please visit our website at bcatv.org. You can also check out our YouTube page, youtube.com/TheBrocktonChannels, all one word. For executive producer Mark Lindy, producer Aaron Tebow, I'm Jay Miller, and we will see you around town.
Out of blueberry. Yeah!
Oh, I'm getting old.